Okay, we are back. So, board members, now we'll start with application number 1, Ronald Topol, that was a holdover. Application number 2, Americo and Marie Sereno, that was also a holdover. Application number 3, Marshall Marinese. Do I have a motion?
Could we do this in 3 separate,
Absolutely. So let's start with the first one, the 20-foot carport, which is looking at a 14.05 variance. You want to have discussion first?
Yes.
Do we need a motion first?
Motion.
We need a motion first, and then we'll discuss.
want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion to grant.
Okay? And just want to second that motion?
Why don't we make a motion for discussion purposes?
Yeah.
Make a motion to grant or deny, and then you, Yep.
I would say to grant, but for discussion purposes.
Okay.
there you go.
All right, Rose.
I have some real concerns about this one specific variance. It's 6 feet from the property line. I know the house next door has been abandoned or is not being used right now, but when we grant a variance, it's forever. And at some point, I think someone will come in and want to build something, and they're not going to want to look at what exists right now. It's not very attractive. I think I wouldn't want this to look at if it was me. So I don't know how the rest of the board feels. This is the one that I have a concern with. So I just wanted to put it out there. I don't know how anybody else feels.
Can we restrict it, Mike, regarding any kind of screening of any type?
You can condition it on screening, but you need to be specific, and don't just say, "to my satisfaction." No, that's what they used to do, and it doesn't work, 'cause
Is that okay, with Rose? Could that
for,
make it a
you know,
little more-
4 hemlocks, 6-foot hemlocks, or whatever you think is proper, you know, but be specific and just,
It looks like it would be screened, but only in the summer. You know, you have a
Right
bunch of
now.
trees. Yeah, right there, right,
Right.
there's trees all right there, but obviously there's no leaves on them. So you'd have to screen with evergreens of some
Correct.
sort.
And I don't know whether we actually could plant anything with the trees that are there already.
I think that could be an issue, trying to get some shrubbery in there.
Right. Just a thought.
Well, if there's a car in there, it's 6 feet from the property line. If somebody has, let's just say a race car, they could be revving it, it could be very noisy. It could create some problems with the neighbor who will eventually go in there. You know, in my experience, I've seen where we've approved something and said, oh, the building's abandoned, and I'm thinking of one on 6N, that has since been knocked down, and there's a beautiful home there. And I think we put a fence in, a high fence in, and to this day, I have a problem with it. So I'd hate to see someone who wants to move in, who wants to fix up this house that's been ignored, and have to look at this with the Citgo sign on the side of it. And
Mike, is it technically a carport?
it looks like almost a garage.
it's not really a carport, I mean,
Looks like a storage bin.
it's more like a storage structure attached to the, is that a garage right next door? Yeah, garage.
Yeah.
It's like a bump out for storage. But because of the size of it, that's why we call it a garage.
But he has it advertised as a carport.
Would that make things different?
No,
No?
that's what it is. I mean, it's the same idea. I mean, he probably parks something in there.
Yeah, he said he has a car in there.
A car, okay, so that's why it's calling it a carport. It's not technically a garage. It doesn't go, I mean, the doors, it's open on the front. You can see the doors don't go all the way to the ground. It's a closed carport.
I don't know how the rest of you feel,
Okay.
but
Any
I
other
have a problem with
discussion
that
from the
one.
board? Anyone else?
Just to play devil's advocate here, the person who is thinking of possibly purchasing the property next door knows what they're buying and getting into because it'll be there for them to see. They can make a decision at that point if they want to see it or not. As far as evergreens, now that I'm looking at this other picture, there very possibly could be room on either side of this big tree here. I want to call it an oak, but it might be an oak, on either side to shield it from the neighbor's view, once there is possibly a neighbor. So it's not out of the question to condition it on a couple of evergreens on each side of that big tree.
Okay, I have no objection to setting that condition. Anyone else have any other discussion?
You know, I know I initially had put forward a motion to approve it, but I'm actually looking at this and I think I'm actually against this variance application.
With conditions and without?
That, I don't think it's, I think it's unattractive as it's constructed. I mean, can I just see that real quick? I don't think it's consistent what you would see in the neighborhood. I think that the harm is self-created. He built it without a permit. And I just don't think that this one meets the criteria for area variance.
The motion currently is to.
I know, so
grant.
I'm actually against the motion. I know I initially put it
seconded
forward,
for
but
granting.
That's fine to do.
So you can vote
You can make a
against.
motion and go against your own motion, that's,
So you see it as a detriment to the neighborhood, self-created, and the size is significant? The
Yes.
variance is significant?
yes.
Are we ready to vote? So the
motion is to grant.
motion is to grant. We'll start with you, Mike.
I'm against.
Bill?
Against.
Rose?
Against.
Mark?
So the question is moot, isn't it? To grant with condition.
And I'm against.
Okay.
So that was just the carport part of
the
it.
Just the
Carport.
carport.
Yep.
Okay, so can we take the other two together? Any
Sure.
objection
I'm
to
fine with that.
taking them together? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay,
Motion to approve the hip roof and the covered porch?
Second?
seconded. Any objection? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
You have to step
so.
down.
What?
He has to step down on the next one.
Oh. Application number 4,
Sorry.
Michael Schwartz and Catherine Bitters Schwartz. Do I have a motion?
Motion to grant?
Anybody want to second it?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Application number 5, Lori Thomas Infantino has been held over. Application number 6, Seth Harrison. Can I get a motion?
Motion to grant?
Anyone want a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Application number 7, Andrew DeMontil. Can I get a motion?
Motion to grant with the condition that there'll be no plumbing.
Everybody want a second with that condition?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Last application, Syed El Shakri has been held over. Okay, regarding the minutes, I was not present for the February 23rd meeting. Rose, were you present?
I was not either.
Rose was not present, so we're going to hold over the minutes until next month.
Motion to hold over?
Motion to hold over. Anybody want to second it?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. This closes our meeting for today. See you next month.